Chuck Todd is NBC's political director and moderator of Meet the Press. He's with us in Studio 1A today on this election day. Chuck,
good morning.
Let's talk about these states.
Yep.
You got a couple of, in Wisconsin, a couple of tight races according to the polls, but let's talk about how the delegates are handed out.
Well, we should. And look, I think today is more about momentum than it is about delegates. Quickly on the Democratic side, you have 96 up for grabs, but they do everything so proportionally. It's possible when you look at just the pledged delegate lead here, it's about 250 for Hillary Clinton. Bernie Sanders needs a double-digit victory tonight in order to even make a little bit of progress here. It's not going to make a lot, but this would be about momentum going into New York State, so less about delegates. On the Republican side, not that many up for grabs, but what's interesting in the way it goes, it's very possible that tonight Trump could get a goose egg. And that is what's important. Where Cruz wins a lion's share, Kasich could actually finish third and win more delegates than Donald Trump just because he's doing really well in one congressional district around Madison. You know, a lot of Republicans in Madison, but both of them may be Kasich supporters, and it could give him some delegates.
Chuck, grab some share here. Oh, my goodness. And let's talk about the polls in Wisconsin, because for a while it was showing Cruz with this 10-point lead, and now I see him tightening up a little bit.
I would look. I think there's some decent pollsters out there who aren't getting the independent number right, and that's the thing that could be tricky about this. This is one of those open primaries. You don't get it right, you could get both your Sanders number wrong and your Cruz number wrong in something like this, just because of the rules of who can vote tonight.
So you think Cruz still has a
I think Cruz has a sizable lead, and I think Sanders has a small lead.
Nicolle Wallace also joining us at the table this morning. Nicolle, let's say Donald Trump does not win tonight. Most of the polls, in fact, have Ted Cruz up. Remember the question after Iowa was, could he take a punch, Donald Trump, after having lost a state? Can he take a punch if he loses Wisconsin, given the circumstances of the last 2 weeks, all the things that he's been through, the things he's done and said? Is the dynamic different this time if he loses?
Well, I think it is, but I think no one should underestimate his ability to totally, extremely make over himself in his campaign. And I think the story tonight is that the tortoise is going to lap the hare. You know, Trump has a terrible campaign, and he's an incredibly undisciplined messenger, but he's been this charismatic, all-powerful, and compelling figure. Cruz is not a charismatic politician, but he's had a superior campaign organization, and he's an incredibly disciplined messenger. And so this is where the turtle passes the hare in the race. But I think that Trump is completely capable of improving his campaign.
Chuck, you take a different view. Do you think Trump, if he loses tonight, can adjust, make those tweaks to get back in the game?
If this were a traditional candidate and campaign, yes, of course. The answer is yes, because the things to do are obvious.
And he still has a huge delegate lead.
But I'm sorry, past performance is likely to be predictive of future behavior. And the fact is, there have been people that have been telling him this for months. You know, ratchet it back. Prep for 5 minutes before an interview.
But you don't think if he loses that he...
And, well, we'll see. You know, we also have never had this if he loses tonight, and it's double digits, okay? I think that margin matters here tonight, too, a little bit. 2 weeks he's got to stew in this. 2 weeks. Iowa, you had 6 days, boom, New Hampshire, and he had this big lead going in. He had a way to quickly rescue himself. What's going to be the narrative changer for him? 2 weeks. That's a long time that he's got to deal with this.
And Nicolle, over on the Democratic side, same thing. You got 2 weeks, whatever happens tonight in Wisconsin. If Hillary Clinton loses, Chuck just laid out the delegate math. It's still a huge uphill climb for Bernie Sanders. What would a Bernie Sanders victory tonight actually mean to the race?
Well, I think it's a huge psychological blow to the Clinton campaign, but it shows you how different this Democratic race is from the Republican race. I mean, the laws of civility are governing these two far more than they are on the Republican side. You see him already preparing to figure out how to begin to talk about getting out. And I think the national party structure on the Democratic side is so much stronger, and they're so much more responsive to it than on the Republican side.
Well, you got to give Sanders credit. I think they're actually setting up a way to get out. He is raising expectations for himself in New York, basically saying, hey, I know I got to beat her here in order to say I've got a chance of this thing. But that also means he knows it's likely he's not going to beat her here. So that means, okay.
Interesting theory. All right, we'll see if it plays out. And congratulations on the restraint not talking about the basketball game, guys. I'm very impressed.
They're going to make multiple documentaries on this one, right? Multiple documentaries.
That was the 15 minutes before the show. Talked about the basketball game.
Guys, thank
Unbelievable.
you.
Good to see you guys.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.